How's it going, YouTube? Hi, Drax here, and in today's video we're going to be discussing whether or not you should summon for Android 17 and 18. As you know, they are officially the second tag unit in the game, followed by the Gohan and Trunks in the top right hand corner there of the banner, who are the third. Obviously they are an extreme unit, and obviously it's the first of their kind, so it will be interesting to see what they can do in future. But as for Android 17 and 18, if we look at them specifically, obviously they are going to be an interesting unit because they do buff a wide variety of teams. If we look at them at completely 14 stars, they buff androids, powerful opponent, or tag future, blast attack and defense, and then strike defense for tag android. They are on the powerful opponent team, and they are on the android saga team, plus they are on future and the girls team. Twins is not really a team that you run, so I'm just going to omit that from here. But let's look at the banners specifically, because when it comes to these new units these days, obviously Jiren's banner was an exception. They dropped the sparking, the 1% sparking Beerus, who nullifies revival. So it is interesting to see that they have gone back to the patented single Legends Limited, followed by a not a sparking, a extreme unit. But let's look at the featured units on this banner. We have Android 17 and 18, we have Future Gohan, Cell, Ape Vegeta, and then we have Corrupted Zamasu, Goku Black, and then Kid Buu. Those are the LFs, and then this is going to be the featured extreme unit. If we look at the rates overall in each step, step 1, it's going to be 5% for the main unit all the way through the end. There's no double rates, so you are going to be summoning on the 0.5% banner. But the caveat is that if you do summon, you are getting 1200 multi-Z power for each sparking unit. So if you do get lucky and pull a Legends Limited, whether it's one of the featured units or the main unit itself, you are going to be getting 1200 multi-Z power, which is a big step there. Obviously, rates itself make a big deal, so it does say you have double the Z power with 20% sparking rates. We all know that last year Legends Festival had 30% sparking rates, and that was an insane time to be summoning. But it is also a little bit of caveat because this is a single unit banner. It is the single new Legends Limit unit at 0.5%. It's not going to be a guaranteed thing whether you get the unit or not. Also, you are getting these coins here that you can see. If you get 50 coins, you can buy 600 Z power of the featured and new Legends Limited unit. So if you are in the area of around 50,000 CCs and you don't pull this unit and you do want to pick it up, you can pick it up that way. If we look at the banner, you are going to be using around 4,300, I believe. 2,000, 3,500. So you will be using 3,500 CCs per rotation, which doesn't seem like much, but when that stacks up to maybe 2 or 3 rotations, it can be quite a bit. But if we look at the general pool of the characters in the grand scheme, not the featured units, because they can be any one of these Legends Limited units. If we look at the normal sparking units, you got the Z Broly, not Z Broly, you got DBS Broly, Zamasu Goku Black, Trunks Bojack, Vegito Blue, we got Android 17 and 18, we got Trunks and Mai Assist, and then we got DKP, we got another Broly. So basically you're not really getting the cream of the crop here in terms of the featured sparkings, because if we look at the unfeatured sparkings, you have a lot of the other units that release, like the Revival Kid Gohan, you have Nappa, Kalen Caulifla, you got SSJ3 Goku, Majub. So all of these units here, so from basically Goku Black upwards, so Goku Black, Turles, Vegeta, Goku Cell, Super Buu, Goku Black, Jiren, Metal Cooler, Android 21, Z Broly, we got DKP, Trunks and Mai, we got Android 17 and 18, Vegito Blue, Bojack, Trunks, Zamasu, and Broly. These are all featured sparking units, so it does mean that your pool, if you do get a specific animation such as the Nimbus, it could be either one of these guys, or it could be a Legends Limited apart from them, or the main unit itself. But let's just look at the tags this character fits on, because I do want to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Let's just switch over right here. Okay, we are on Legends DVD DBZ.space. As you can see, the androids are not uploaded yet. The site hasn't been updated, but they are on the future tag, so this is going to be their main team if you are going to be running them. Because if we look at the Android team doesn't really have that much in terms of very good units. Obviously they are new, and then we are waiting for the Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 from the Dragon Ball superhero movie. But if we look at Future has a very strong lineup of characters. You have the obviously you have Sword of Hope Trunks, you have Future Gohan, you have obviously Cropped Zamasu if you want to run a PPR setup or a RRP setup, and then you got Perfect Cell. You have this Vegeta here, who is extremely good, as you all know. He will obviously sit in the leader slot because he does not buff the tag. Then you have Goku Black and Zamasu Assist, who actually is extremely good at tanking and a good support. You have Zenkai Rose, which is a very controversial unit in the game when he first released because he was very, very lackluster. And they gave him Powerful Opponent and Red as his Zenkai ability, which now makes sense because the new Android 17 and 18 are red as well, so he is going to be able to Zenkai buff them on the future team. So you can have this guy in the 6th slot and have him buff the not Goku, you can have him buff the Android 17 and 18. But if we look at the other units on this tag, you have quite a few options in terms of free-to-plays. You have the Fusion Zamasu, you have this new Trunks here, Teen Trunks. You have this Super Saiyan 2 Trunks here, who is free from the Zenkai shop. There's a lot of options on the future tag, and all of them are good options to run in the meta right now, considering that it's a very Kaioken heavy playstyle right now with a lot of green and then yellows. So having this future setup with the Perfect Cell or Fusion Zamasu on the team would work really well for you alongside the androids. If we look at the Android tag itself, we obviously have overlapping characters with Cell. You have Android 21 who has a Zenkai who is buffing the team with HP, which is very, very good. You can't go wrong with her on the bench. But if we look at the rest of the units itself, there aren't many options in terms of running a full Android team. You have Android 18 here, who's probably the best yellow. I know people like this guy, but he just doesn't do it anymore. He's just very, very bad. Fusion 13 is getting a Zenkai, so obviously you have to wait for him to get his Zenkai first before you can add him on the team. The de facto blue unit on this team is going to be Android 21. Obviously Android 18 from the duo swaps over and she's strong against tag blue units, but it does not mean she herself is a blue unit. But you can omit her from the team if you want and maybe go another route. For the green units, you have the Zenkai 16, Super 17, and then you have obviously the good Android 21 and then the free-to-play 18. From the four of them, I believe Android 17 is the best because of his tank ability, his ability to tank, heal, and inflict paralysis with his ultimate. So he is going to probably be your best option. Red is obviously going to be the new unit, and then yellow is obviously 18. Purple is probably Cell if you don't have Cell at high stars. Android 21 is a good option. But considering that the fact that there isn't really very many powerhouses in the game right now, and a lot of them are available here on the future team, if you do end up pulling this Android 17 and 18, you'd most likely end up using them on a future team because of the ability to have endurance, double endurance I should say, and then obviously they themselves nullify endurance with their kit. I just want to go ahead and just say that they do increased damage against Saiyans and Super Saiyans, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be good in all situations, such as if we look at the Lineage of Evil team or Frieza Force in the greatest schemes, or whatever team you're running the main majority of the Frieza clan on this team. Obviously you have full power, you have Golden Frieza, you have Final Form, Revival Frieza, you have Zenkai full power, you have Chilled, Zenkai Chilled, and then you have, well, obviously First Form Frieza is a Zenkai here, and then you have Cooler, and then you have Metal Cooler. I just want to say that these androids are not going to be doing as much damage as you would think to this team, purely because if we look at the typings of the characters, Android 17 is a red unit, which is going to be pretty bad because a lot of people have Revival Frieza on their teams that they're running, so he's kind of blocking the Android 17 sides of things. And if you swap over into Android, obviously Android 18, you are now weak against yellow units, and we all know Final Form Full Power Friezas. Both of them here are very, very good in the game, so you are going to fall prey to them in terms of Lineage of Evil. Obviously, that's not going to be the case 100% of the time, but a good majority of the time, you are going to be stuck in situations where you are going to be having to fight Lineage of Evil. So just take that with a little bit of a grain of salt of whether or not you should summon for them, because they aren't going to impact this team very much in the grand scheme of things, unless they may be, unless you want to run them on future and then have Trunks in the yellow slot there. Therefore, it would actually make more sense to have the future team going up against Lineage of Evil, because this Trunks does increase damage to Lineage of Evil, and so does the red Trunks here on the bottom. So that's going to be the Lineage of Evil setup. But I do want to say that if we look at the banner that released last year for the anniversary, it was a dual Legends Limited banner, which means that there are two banners with two different Legends Limited units. It's practically confirmed at this point that there will be at least two banners for the anniversary. It happened during the first anniversary, second, third, and now it'll probably happen on the fourth. The start date of this summon was the 30th of May 2021, and it ran up until the 15th of July. If we look at the time as to when this is going to be released 40 days from now, which is a month and 10 days. So do keep in mind that this is the final stretch for the anniversary. We are right there. This is the final month. So don't go too crazy if you are going to be summoning for other units and other characters. Obviously, if you do not care about MUI Goku, who is suspected going to be the headliner for the anniversary, then go ahead. It's probably in your best interest to summon on the characters that you like. But it will be a difficult thing for you, because obviously when it comes to anniversaries, this anniversary here, the units here were very underpowered, but generally in the grand scheme, the units that released during the anniversary are very, very powerful. And obviously from past experience with UI Sign Goku, he is going to be quite dangerous when he goes into his mastered form. So the mastered form of a UI Goku is going to be very, very powerful. He will most likely have a unique gauge of some sort, because obviously the first time they released the unique gauge, it was on the UI Sign Goku, so maybe they will just improve upon that and have it just more optimized and better. So when it comes to headliners for the anniversary in the grand scheme, there are only so many units that you can have, and then UI Goku is one of those units. Like I said, it will be a double banner, which would mean that they would have to have a second unit, obviously. They could go in two directions. They could go complete Dragon Ball Super Showcase anniversary with having MUI Goku and another Dragon Ball Super character. My suspicion is it's going to be a transforming LF Kefla, or just an LF Kefla in general, maybe a Super Saiyan version of her. But if they had to go another route doing a GT versus a Super, they could go with MUI Goku versus Omega Shenron, because we do not have a Legends Limited Omega Shenron, and it's been a very long time since GT has received any kinds of buffs for their team. So it would be nice to see them get a little bit more extra buffs, because you do not see their team in PvP anymore. But just take this with a grain of salt. It is in the final, we are in the final countdown for the anniversary. It is a month and 10 days away. So if you think and you're confident that you can grind up enough Chrono Crystals in that time to comfortably summon for whichever characters you want during that time period, do that, and do follow on your plans to do that. But remember, post anniversary, we got another unit which is probably more anniversary worthy than the so-called anniversary units. Revival Gohan here was a menace. He ushered in the age of the hybrid Saiyans for about, I think, close to 4 to 5 months, until we got Gokua. So this guy is absolutely insane when he first released. He's still insane right now, very slept on. Obviously he was a new unit, and then we got 2 new sparking units alongside him, which was insane. Yeah, so do remember that there is going to be a post-anniversary banner, the so-called cooldown banner. So just keep that in mind. This Solachia could be something very crazy, because if they are going to be buffing Universe Survival Saga and maybe GT, they could do something else on the back end to make people really angry, because this unit here made a lot of people angry when he first released because of how good he was and how basically oppressive he was alongside his counterpart, the Legends Unlimited FSK Gohan. So keep in mind that these are the banners that will release in about 40 days, or well, these banners will release in about 40 days or so. If you look at the Android team in general, the Android 17 and 18 are not going to really fit this well on this team until we get more Android buffs. They will be good, but they will not carry this team completely, so do keep that in mind. Obviously Future is going to be the best team, so just probably use them on Future for now, because if you had to use Future, you have a lot of solid options with the teams. I broke it down earlier in the video. But anyways guys, this is going to be my thoughts on whether you should summon. You shouldn't summon for these guys yet. It's too close to the anniversary. It's way too close. 40 days is not enough time. If you are going to be spending 20,000 crystals just to get a single copy, it's not going to be worth your time, because 40 days does not equal 20,000 crystals. It does not. At most, you're probably going to get maybe 9,000 crystals, and you're going to be very sad for anniversary, because once you have anniversary, you will get a steady stream of chrono crystals, but then you also have to think about the post-anniversary banner in that cooldown slot, which is going to be probably something very good itself. On another note, the Android 17 and 18 are not going to impact one of the better teams in the game, and that's going to be the Lineage of Evil or Frieza Force, whichever team you want to call it. It's practically the same units. They are going to be weak against Revival Frieza and Full Power Frieza, so which these two being core units on the team is going to mean that they're not going to see too much in terms of damage output on this team, because these two colors are most likely going to be in that match. They are going to be doing increased damage against Kaioken Goku, which is a very good thing. It's going to be a very good thing to see less of him, and obviously it's going to work against Ultra Gogeta quite nicely with the Android 18 variation of that unit. Obviously it's not going to completely phase those units out, because those units are just too good, but in the grand scheme of things, this should balance the meta a little bit, because Ultra Kaioken Goku is a menace. So no, I don't think you should summon for those units. It's not going to be worth it, because it's too close to the anniversary. But anyways guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. My name is Hydrax. I'll catch you in the next one.